So let us see a few questions and answers in data structure, which will be beneficial for you for interview, VIVA, etc. So what is data structure? What do we mean by a data structure? So the name suggests that a structure in which the data can be organized. So the logical and mathematical model of a particular organization of data is called the data structure. Again, the data structure is the logical and mathematical model of a particular organization. If the data is organized in certain way, how they are logically or mathematically modeled, this is the data structure. So there are two type of data structure. One is linear data structure, the other is non-linear data structure. Linear data structure, you will find stacks and queues and etc. And in this, and also linked list. In non-linear, you will find graph and trees, etc. So what are the goals of data structure? What are the goals of data structure? Uh, First is it must be rich enough in structure to select the actual relationship of a data in real world, because actually we are dealing with the data in the real world only. And the structure should be simple enough for efficient processing of data. Efficient processing means data access. It can be removal, that is deletion, or you can say add, and certain aggregated options that can you apply, like summation, sum the values, or find the minimum or maximum, sorting, searching, etc. What do we mean by ADT? ADT, abstract data type. In abstract data type, we talk about the organization in certain way, which should follow certain strategy, certain technique, and set of operations which can be allowed on these data with this organization. So we are not aware how data is stored, but we don't want to find it. The implementation can be any way, but we are interested in the operations which are to be applied on this. So this is abstract data type for you. Data type is a collection of values and a set of operations on these values. So abstract data type refers to the mathematical concept that define the data type. It is useful tool for specifying the logical properties of a data type. And ADT consists of two parts. First is your value definition. So how we are defining these values and how we are defining operations on these values. So values plus operations on these values, these are abstract data types. So that is why we have data type. So defining data type in a certain type. Okay, a data type is nothing but the collection of values only. So data type, defining the data type, and abstract data type is the mathematical concept that define that data type for a certain particular reason, for a particular organization. So to specify logical properties of the data type, ADT is the best thing. For example, the value definition for the ADT rational, it satisfies that the rational value consists of two integers. Second is not equal to 0. The operator definition for ADT rational, it includes the operation of creation and addition, multiplication, test for equality. What is the difference between a stack and an array? See, stack and array. So here we have this is array part, this is stack part. First is stack is an ordered collection of items. Array is also an ordered collection of items. Stack is a dynamic object. Array is a static object. That means stack is constantly changing and items are pushed, that is inserted, or pop, that is deleted. Array is a static object, that is number of items are fixed and is assigned by the declaration of the array. Next is stack. Stack may contain different data types. It may contain different data types. While I'm saying it may. If you implement stack by an array, you will not be able to do this. If you implement it by any other data structure, then you can do it. So it contains same data type. Array contains same data type. Then you come to the fourth one, that is stack is declared as a data structure containing an array to hold the elements of the stack, and an integer to indicate the current stack top within that array. While an array can be a home to a stack, as I suggested, you can implement stack using the array. That is, the array can be declared large enough maximum for a size of stack. So you can start from here and you can add values. You can delete values from the this is the rear, or you can say the top. What do you mean by recursive definition? Recursive definition is the idea of decomposing a problem into several subproblems, and the main problem is called subproblem, which is of its own kind. So the definition which defines an object in terms of simpler cases of itself is called the recursive definition. What is a sequential search? When you search one by one, it is sequential search. So in a sequential search, each item in the array is compared with the item being searched until a match occurs. So it is applicable to the table organized either as an array or an linked list. So you can have an array, the values are placed in an array or an linked list. So once you place values here, you start from the first value and you compare it with each and every value which is in the contiguous location, or rather not contiguous but one by one, which are in ordered in terms of the first and previous and next one. So one by one it checks for the values. If the match is found, it is okay. Otherwise, at the end it can say that the search was successful. What actions are performed when the function is called? When a function is called, first of all, you have to save the present location of the function, that is the present values, like which when the function is going to return, which execution the execution should start from which instruction. So the program counter or the pointing of the next or the address of the next instruction has to be stored. There are certain also various things that can be stored. So first, when the function is called, the arguments needs to be passed. The local variables, they are allocated and initialized in the function, and the transferring control to the function, this is to be done. What actions are performed when the function returns? Now when the function returns, the return address is to be retrieved. As I said here, the return address has to be retrieved, and the function's data area is freed because function has already worked for function area to be freed. And branch is taken to the return address. That is the return this address. Branch is taken, the control is taken to the return address. What is a linked list? What is a linked list? Linked list is again a linear collection of data elements. Here we call them the data elements. They're placed in a structure, you can say a node, which is known as a node. So where the linear order is given by the pointers. Each node has two parts. The first part contains the information data element, and the second part is the address to the next node in the list. So this is how it is shown. That is, it is null. And here you have a head pointer pointing to the root. What are the advantages of linked list over array? That is, array is a data structure, linked list is a dynamic data structure. So data structure can be divided into two more categories: static data structure, dynamic data structure. Static data structure, it does not increase, it does not decrease, it remains static. Dynamic, the values increase, the value decrease, or the data structure grows or shrinks. So the disadvantages of array over the linked list is, first, unlike linked list, it is expensive to insert a delete element in the array. You have to, if you want to delete element from this side, then what about this space? You have to refill this space with moving all these values. So the worst case will be, if you delete from the first position, you have to look at all the n. So order of n it will be. One can't double or triple the size of array as it requires a block of memory space, right? And in linked, this is about the memory, because this is really a concern that are you declaring or assigning enough space for array, or are you, because if you have less element, the memory will be wasted. If you are assigning less memory, then the values will get, you will find overflow again and again. In linked list, what happens? Each element in the list contains a field which is called a link or a pointer, which contains the address of the next element. So the successive elements need not occupy adjacent space in the memory. It can be distributed anywhere. So logically they are connected. So can we apply binary search algorithm to a sorted linked list? Yes or no? So we cannot apply binary search algorithm to a sorted linked list. So there is no way of indexing the middle element in the list, because we have to again go move to the center of the linked list, and which is again taking you some you have to go to the sequential search. So sequentially you are going to the center. When you again want these two values and these two say partitions, you again have to find the middle one. So this is the drawback of using linked list as a data structure, because there is no way of indexing the middle element in the list. What do you mean by free pool? Pool is a list of containing the unused memory cells, which has their own pointer, free pool. So if somewhere the pool the memory is scarce, this free pool can assign the memory, or it can share the memory. What do you mean by garbage collection? Garbage collection, say you might have heard that Java does automatic garbage collection. So what does it mean? So it is a technique in which the operating system periodically collects all the deleted space onto the free storage list. See, there are areas which are being freed, but they are not being utilized. So though there are free areas, but still system will find, okay, we don't have any space these areas are combined by the operating system into free storage list. This is called the garbage collection. It takes place when there is a minimum amount of space left in the storage list, or when the CPU is ideal. Ideal, not ideal, but it is idle. It is not doing any useful work. So the alternate method to this is to immediately reinsert the space into free space list, which is time consuming. What do you mean by underflow and overflow? Overflow means if you have a bucket, then if you fill in some water, then overflow is once the water is filled and it is coming out. The underflow is you want to take out the water, but this tumbler or this bucket is already it doesn't have any water. So you want to take out the water or pick the water or use the water, but there is no water. So this is underflow. So a new data is to be inserted into data structure, but there is no available space. The free storage list is empty. This situation is called the overflow. And we want to delete. Now when we want to delete the data from the data structure, that is already empty. Right? There is no value. So the situation is called the underflow. Next is, what are the disadvantages array implementation of linked list? Array implementation of linked list. See, you are trying to implement the linked list using an array. What are the disadvantages? The number of nodes needed can't be predicted when the program is written. First of all, an array, you have to have a very sound prediction. The number of nodes declared must remain allocated throughout its execution. The number of nodes declared remain allocated throughout its execution. This is the disadvantage. What is a queue? What is a queue? Queue is an abstract data type. It is an ordered collection of items from which items may be deleted from one end, that is the front end, and it can be inserted in the other end, that is the rear end. So it obeys the first in first out FIFO rule. There is no limit to the number of elements a queue may contain. It only be restricted by the implementation if you implement it by array say. What is a priority queue? A priority queue is again a data structure in which the intrinsic ordering of the element is there, that is numeric or alphabetic. So they are intrinsically ordered. So it determines the results of its basic operation, and there are two types of this priority queue: ascending priority queue and descending priority queue. In ascending priority queue, here the smallest element can be removed, and in descending priority queue, largest element can be removed. What are the disadvantages of sequential storage? See, if you have a sequential storage, fixed amount of storage remains allocated to the data structure even if this contains less element, and no more than fixed amount of storage is allocated, causing the overflow. What are the disadvantages of representing a stack or a queue by a linked list? Now you want to represent the stack and queue by a linked list. First is the node in a linked list occupies most storage. We have info and next field. So of course the linked list will take more storage space than the corresponding element in an array, and also additional time will be spent to manage the available list. What is dangling pointer and how to avoid it? Dangling pointer, how to avoid it? See, after a call to free, we make a subsequent reference to the star p, that is the pointer p. We have already freed p. Now you are referencing star p, which is illegal. That is, though the storage top is free, but the value of p address it remain unchanged. So the object at that address will be used as the value of star p. That is, there is no way of detecting the illegality. You can easily see that star p, because p is a pointer. Now it is pointing to some value. That value can be easily taken. So and this p is called as the dangling pointer. And to avoid this, it is better to set p to null after executing the free p. Now free p will not only work, we have to explicitly assign it to null. So the null pointer value doesn't refer to a storage location, as in this case. So it is a pointer that doesn't point to anything. Now the next question is, what are the disadvantages of linear list? Linear list. First of all, we cannot reach any of the nodes that precede p. Linear list. If a list, because once you are ahead or you have gone ahead, you cannot turn back. If list is traversed, the external pointer to the left list must be preserved in order to reference the list again. You're traversing, so external pointer, there has to be external pointer which keep track of what is being referenced. Define the circular list. In circular list, it is a linear list again. The next field of the last node, if this is the last node, the next field of the last node, it contains a null pointer in a linear list. When the next field, this of the last node now points to the first node. It is called the circular list. So you don't need any header or the first node here. It is a circular list, so the advantage is from any point in the list it is possible to reach to any other point. But what is the disadvantage of circular list? See, we cannot traverse the link backward because it is like this. All the pointers are pointing like this. We cannot go back. And if a pointer to a node is given, we cannot delete the node. If a pointer to a node is given, we cannot delete the node. Next is define doubly linked list, double linked list. It is a collection of data elements called nodes again. But here, what happens? In this, each node is divided into 3 parts, not 2 parts. Info field that contains the information stored in the node. Left field that contains pointer to the left, to the node on the left side. The right field, this field contains the that contains pointer to the node on the right side. Is it necessary to sort a file before searching a particular item? See, if this sorting involves less effort, if less work is involved in searching an element, then to sort and then to extract, then we don't go for sort. If frequent use of the file is required for the purpose of retrieving specific element, it is more efficient to sort the file. So it actually depends on the situation. So these were a few questions on data structure. We'll be taking a few more of these kind. Thank you so much. Take care.